Good morning, you badass motherfuckers. It's the All on Me, the morning drinking show. I'm your host, Greg. Getting back on this motherfucker one way or another. One way or another. Maybe it's for 5 minutes, maybe it's for an hour. At the end of the day, I got a commitment. Commitment to me, commitment to you, commitment to God, to get on this motherfucker, talk all that shit, because we doing life. And guess what? Life's a game of life and death. Hot and cold, good and evil, right? Night and day. Sometimes life just sucks, don't it? Sometimes life just sucks. Sometimes life just sucks. And right now, my life does not suck. But sometimes a day can suck, man. A morning can suck. An hour, an evening, right? A moment can just really knock us out, man. Anybody just wake up all the time feeling good, feeling excited, right? Don't you hate that? People always putting out messages like everything's good. Everything's good. You can have a positive attitude about everything. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, right? That's me. But I'm gonna be always fucking real around this motherfucker. That don't may not always feel good, right? Case in point, this morning, I didn't wake up. I woke up at about 3:13 this morning, right? And I knew it was time to get up because I woke up and I couldn't go right. I didn't feel tired. So I said, all right, it's time to wake up. It's 3:13. Most people are like, I'm just getting to bed. What the heck? This guy's getting up. Yes, 3:13. That's not a big deal. So I get up, I do my routine, right? Affirmations in the ear, start listening to some positivity because it's a negative fucking world out there, man. There's a lot of people, right? Misunderstanding you. There's a lot of people, right? Confusing you, judging you, stereotyping you, right? Marginalizing you, right? Minimizing you. And guess what? We do that to ourselves the most. That's the truth of all of this shit. Is anything someone else can do to you that hurts you? Trust me. Trust you. You do it to you. That's the real talk, man. That's the real talk, man. On a beautiful day of life, which is also a beautiful day of death. You just got to find gratitude in it, regardless of how you feeling today, regardless of what's going on, right? Maybe it's a shitty day. Maybe it's been a shitty week. Maybe it's already been a shitty year, right? Sometimes you just maybe got to smoke it out, man. Cleanse the air, cleanse the energy, cleanse who you are. Maybe just breathe. Maybe just drink a glass of water, drink some coffee, maybe read a book. Maybe reach out to somebody and ask for some help. Anybody think that's a good idea when life sucks, when your day sucks, when your week sucks, when shit ain't going how you want it to go, right? New year, new me fell apart. Now we in a new month and we're like, shit, man. Same old song and dance. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. What's the crash diet? What's the crash diet, man? How we gonna drop this 20? What's the crash? What's the cleanse? What's the fat burn? Could get this weight off. I'm gonna wait though. I'll wait till April. That way by May, June, I'll be looking good, beach body. And then we just gonna play the whole fucking broken record again, right? We ain't gonna do nothing with a mindset. We ain't gonna do nothing with a habits. That is a habit, right? And we definitely not gonna switch up nutrition. All things that can improve the quality of your life, right? I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for the experiences I've had. I'll tell you what, when I put myself out here like this on a message, it's someone like me, I the few people that do know me, right? know that I'm a very private person, right? Very private. Maybe you look at my social media, you're like, this guy ain't private. He's always talking about shit. And the reason why I'm talking about all that shit is because I know that I'm called, right? I am called to give this message, right? It's a real life message. It reaches a lot of people, man. Not a day goes by that someone does not thank me for this message, right? Not a day goes by that I don't touch someone's life that they literally break down crying, man. Why? Just because of me, my message, right? Because I'm touching people's lives. And this is the platform that we live in, right? I've been sending a lot of video messages, very personalized to people. And that's really impacting some people's lives this year, 23. That's different, right? And y'all freak out, right? Everybody's freaking out. Oh shit, what is this guy hitting on? Is this guy what is his agenda? Right? First and foremost, I'm wanting to introduce myself in a more personal way, right? We can't always meet for coffee across country. Right? So we use this social media. You know what I find out the most about this is most people are suffering in silence, right? They're hiding in the crowds. They're lonely. They're sad. They're depressed. They're anxious, right? They're dealing with a lot of vices, right? They're dealing with a lot of pain. And they're doing it alone, even amongst the crowds. Have you ever done that? Is that where you're at right now? Are you suffering in the crowd, right? In the midst of the crowd, there you are with a smile, trying to trying to look your best. I don't want my picture taken. Because inside you're miserable. You're sad, you're lonely, you're depressed, you're anxious. Your negative self-talk is defeating. You're misunderstood, right? And you hadn't even figured out yourself. I realized that I talk to enough people, man. I have real deep conversations with people every single day. Every single day. I might get on here and I'll tell you, as someone that's called to be a healer, right? As someone that's called to make a difference in this world, you would think the more people I talk to, that like the more emboldened I get, the more stronger I get. No, man, because I'm an empath, right? And I've been accused of not being empathetic, not being compassionate enough in my past. But I can tell you from an energetic standpoint, when I encounter somebody that's suffering, someone like you, right? And I have a deep conversation, we sit down and you start just pouring out your heart, pouring out your deep, dark secrets, because there's something about me, right? That you feel safe, you trust, that you can share this shit with me. And maybe it's because I share a lot of my shit with you, with all of you. And there's all these things, right? I saw one this morning. There's all these things. Don't ever tell anybody how you're feeling. Don't tell people. Don't share that. Why? Because they're going to use it against you. Well, that's only if you give a fuck. If you give a fuck what other people think, of course, don't share that, right? Because people will be mean and nasty. Not everybody's nice. Not everybody actually gives a fuck about you, right? Even if they related, even if they tell you they love you, that don't mean they care. That does not mean they genuinely care, because they're dealing with their own shit. And so you know, it's fear. You gotta live in fear, right? It's better to live in fear. It's better to be guarded. We don't want to ever, let someone know who we truly are. But there's something about me when I sit down with people, and I had an incredible encounter, right, with another being of a different race, right? All kinds of stuff, man. But this person came towards me and I felt so honored, right, to have this encounter, to sit down. And, it's as many of the encounters I have with people, right? They decide that, you know what, this is the guy to confide in, to get my shit out. And as someone that's an empath, right? Someone like me, that shit, it's an energy exchange. And so a lot of times you have to be guarded of your energy, and it wears you out. It drains you. And that's why it's so important for me. You know, I maintain my what? My self-care. That's why I talk a lot about taking care of yourself, loving yourself. And you got to figure out what that means for you, right? I know for me, basic self-care is my daily 5. That's like the most basic, right? Mindfulness in the morning, setting my day with intention, journaling, all that good shit. Health, fitness, nutrition, personal development, right? And then making a difference. Those things fill my cup. In addition to those things, right? Soaking in hot springs is something I really love. Getting massages, right? Going out for hikes, camping, overlanding, going out into the world, right? And traveling, right? Skiing, snowshoeing, right? Just being in nature. All of those things are things that when I'm doing them, I feel alive, right? When I'm at my job, I don't feel alive. I feel useful. I feel like I have a purpose. I feel like I have talents and skills and gifts that contribute to making a difference. But that's not where I feel the most alive, right? Because my sense of being alive is definitely tied to a sense of freedom, right? And I feel I see myself like an eagle, man, soaring in the sky. And so when I'm out there soaring, doing my thing, that's when I'm alive. That's when I'm free. And that is so important to me. I had an incredibly humbling experience the other night, right? To think that after a few years has already passed, right? If you paid any attention to this show, you know that I taught public elementary education as a teacher in the classroom, 4th and 5th grade, for 2 years, 2019 through 2021, right? Missed the COVID, before COVID and just after it when kids went back to class. I couldn't stick around doing that. I couldn't. I loved it for them kids. I know I made a difference in them kids' lives, and this story will give me some credibility with that. Because the other day I had a former student, right? I had a mother reach out to me, right, in a time of absolute desperation, an absolute grief, right? Hopelessness, right? Any of y'all feel hopeless? Any of y'all feel real desperation? It's a crazy world, man. We really can get caught up in some bullshit. And that's what I'm always talking about. That's why I come with this real talk, is because so many of us, we get caught up in the bullshit, man. We get caught up in who's going to win the fucking big game, right? We get caught up in, you know, whose social issues are more morally just, right? We forget about humanity, man, just the common person and the real shit that happens in this life. Because in this life is a game called death. There's no life without death. And so I had a grieving mother reach out to me that she came across my content. I probably just sought me out because what she remembers from those few years in the parent teacher conferences, right? This is a single mother with a lot of children, and now one less because she lost a child. She lost a son last fall. And it was not my student, but the student that I had is taking it pretty damn hard. And so is she. And I also have a family member, right, that's lost a son. And I witness the grief on a regular basis from her. So I understand the difficulty of loss. And my heart goes out to those of you that are grieving loss in all its forms, because I'm grieving loss. You're grieving loss. Because the processing of loss and grief, right, can truly take your entire life. It can take the rest of your life. And this mother, she called me out of the blue because she says, I didn't know who else to call. And you were so inspiring back then that I was hoping that you could inspire me. And kind of sitting there like, inspire you. I don't know what to do with that. You're calling me after losing your son. You don't know who else to call, and you're calling me for some inspiration. Wow. That's getting put on the spot, motherfuckers. That's getting put on the spot. And if you ever need someone to call because you're hopeless, because you don't know who else to call, guess what? Call me. Because I'm okay getting put on the spot. And I'm okay to answer that call at any time, regardless of what I'm doing. If I'm available, I will answer the call. And we had a long conversation. And I'm just grateful for it. I'm grateful that I can be somebody like that in this world. Because we don't know when we're going to go. But I think my creator would be pretty proud of me, knowing that I said what I said, I did what I did, and through it all, when people were at their lowest, right, they said, you know what, I don't know who else to call, I'm gonna call him. That's very humbling to think that I could be that person for someone else, because I haven't always been that person for me. I haven't always shown up for me like that. I haven't even always shown up for the people that I say I love like that. But yet for an acquaintance, pretty much a stranger, to say the things you say, the things you do inspires me. And I need some of that inspiration right now because I don't know what else to do. I just want to give up. And so I'm full of gratitude for this day. I woke up super early. I was feeling calm. I was feeling clear. I was feeling at peace. But underneath all that, right, was some sadness, some loneliness, some longing, some unfulfilled desires, right? Anybody have some unfulfilled desires, some unfulfilled dreams, some unfulfilled goals that you're just like, it's too much, it's too hard, I can't do this. Why can't it be easy? Why can't it be easier? Why does it have to be this way? Anybody ever have that talk with themselves about the things you want, the things you desire, maybe even sometimes the absolute motherfucking things you need? Why? Why does it gotta suck? Why can't it just be easy? It trips me out why it can't be easy. Why growth expansion, success, right, has to come through failure, suffering, right, grief, loss, heartache, pain, right? It's on all of that. It takes all of that, embracing it. And a lot of times we're not taught how to do that. We don't even know what that shit is. So that when you wake up and you just don't feel good, you don't know what to do, right? You're hopeless, you're helpless, you're just down, you feel like shit, and you don't know what to do. So guess what? You just kind of do your little routine, your program, and act as if everything's good. Everything will just be okay. And I guess that's a good attitude. Everything will be okay. Everything's just gonna be okay, right? That's a game of chance. See, I'm a person that believes in intention versus chances, right? I'm someone that says, look, if everything's gonna be okay, I'm gonna at least put in my effort, right? Put in my piece of the equation, my will, my actions, my desires, right? My hopes, my dreams, and set my intention. And then I'm just gonna let the universe and my faith handle the rest. Because there's only so much that we can do, right? I have seen that if I've stayed the course, right, and I've maintained my program, and I've been true to myself, that things do get better, right? But that doesn't mean it's easy. It still sucks. A day like today could still suck. A morning like today could still suck. But guess what? It usually won't last forever unless you let it. And the only way you let it is if you keep living in the past, if you keep living in reverse. And the only way you can get out of that depression, right, is if you start writing down a story for your future, right? And the way that you let go of the past is you accept it. And sometimes you got to write that down too. I accept that this has happened. You sign your name to it. I accept that I lost this person. I accept this person is no longer here. I accept that all of these bad things happen. You sign your name to it. And from this day forward, right, I commit to doing more, being more, making a bigger difference, first with myself and then in this world around me, right? Because a lot of times, right, on the other side of the hardest test is the breakthrough. I'm seeing that happen here with where I'm working. And I'll tell you a story about a shitter. Hey, bud, want to hear about a shitter? A fancy shitter. Up at my ranch, I redid the bathroom. It's incredible. I love it. And as I was like looking at the tile that I wanted to do, because I converted basically a tub shower setup, cast iron tub in a shower, I just didn't like it. It wasn't sexy. I knew that I wanted something nicer. Because there's only that one bathroom there, I wanted it to be fucking nice, man. Wow. I just wanted it to like, woo. I just wanted to just get in there, be like, it's so sexy, just rip my clothes off and jump in the shower. I want you to do the same thing. But part of the designing, right, is I was like going back and forth between which tiles to get. And there was these tiles I really fell in love with, and they were expensive. They were the highest end of tile. They're literally hand cut petrified wood. I don't think people understand that. It's natural petrified wood. Herringbone design, very expensive fucking tile. And I wanted to compromise on that. said, man, I don't need that, man. It costs all this. But I had a vision. See, that's the thing, is I had a vision. And I'm asking you, if you have a vision, right? Do you truly believe in your vision? Right? Because a lot of times, through my experience, is that when we have a vision, it's too big. It's too big for what we can handle right now. Or is it? Right? Because see, the thing is, our vision should pull us to becoming greater than who we are right now. When we can envision ourselves being healthy, happy, just living an amazing life, but we don't know is this the past, the old me? How can this be a future me? Because I'm not any of that right now. Or when we have a vision, right, for accumulating wealth, right, maybe sharing a gift with the world and becoming famous and rich and all this amazing stuff, we're like, that's a dream. I can't do that. Or maybe it's just saying, look, I just bought a dream ranch and I want to renovate the bathroom, and I'm looking at this tile and I have a vision because I want this to be an incredible space within the ranch house. And I'm like, that's expensive. Maybe I should compromise, right? And I heard a piece of advice from my therapist. She was going through a difficult situation financially. And the piece of advice that her father gave to her, and I appreciated her sharing it with me, and I'm going to share it with you, is if money can solve your problems, then you don't got problems. But you have to expand, right? And you have to believe in the vision and the dream. Because the vision and the dream should not be who you are right now. It should expand you. It should cause you to get out of your comfort and into an uncomfortable situation to become greater than what you are right now. It should cause you to apply the thing called faith, right, into the equation. To have faith that if you spend the money, right, you'll never have to sit there for 10, 20 years saying, man, I wish I would have got the other tile. And so it took faith for me to say, you know what, in this renovation, fuck it. I want to do this once. I see my vision. I know that's the tile I want. And if money was not an object, that is the tile I would pick, right? And because I believe this universe, right, is abundant, that if money was not an object and I have a vision and that is the tile I want, that is the tile that I think is meant to be in this place. If money was not even in the equation, but it is, I'm going to have the faith that, guess what? Just buy it. Just buy it, man. And the last piece, right? So I did get the tile. And the shower came out incredible. Everybody I see, oh my God, this is an incredible shower. And I feel every time I take a shower in there, I'm like, I didn't compromise. I stuck to the vision. The last piece that challenged me with this renovation was the shitter, the toilet. Most people, if you've ever gone shopping for toilets, $100, maybe $300 for a shitter. Not this guy. Not this guy. Not this guy. The vision I had for a shitter, right, is like 5 times the normal average, 10 times the normal average, right? A shitter that's thousands of dollars. Because I said, this is incredible. This bathroom is so incredible. An average toilet it doesn't fit. And so I found a toilet and it was pretty damn expensive. And I drug my feet on it, right? I kept the old toilet that was in there that was kind of broken because I was like, I didn't want to compromise. I didn't want to compromise my vision. I knew I wanted this fucking fancy toilet. And I had some people question, why, man? Why? Just get a nice new toilet, man. A couple $100 and you're good. I was like, nah, that's not good enough. That's not the vision. Because see, it took faith for me to say, you know what? I had a vision. And even though I spent a shit ton on a shitter, I finally got to a place where I said, you know what? I have the faith, I have the vision, and I'm grateful I have the abundance that I can afford a fucking expensive ass shitter. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger. Guess what happened? Ordered the shitter. Finally, I ordered the shitter. Finally, I had the faith, right? 6 months into my project, I finally ordered the shitter, right? But I waited 2 weeks. I see it gets delivered. I called the store. They said, you know what? We had to reject it. It was destroyed in transit. It's just, it's porcelain, man. Fucking million pieces. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What? So I said, all right, well, let's try this one more time. Ordered it again. So I said, I went down to the store. I was all excited, pick up the expensive ass shitter. Guess what? I said, I got to look at it. I want to make sure the first one was broken. The minute I grabbed the box, it sounded like fucking a broken box of glass. I was like, oh no, this is not again. Another broken shitter. So I said, fuck, man. They say the third time's the charm, right? I said, you know what? I'm not gonna play that game. I'm gonna order 2 more for the third time, and maybe one of them's gonna go. So it was a game of patience. It was a game of faith, and there is a moral to this story, right? Because it ain't over. So 2 more weeks come by, the shitter shows up, and voila. It's open it up. Everything's intact. There's not a dent, not a scratch, not a crack. Nothing is perfect. I'm like, fuck yeah. Yes, third time's the charm. I didn't have to look at a fourth shitter. It was the back there. I told him, cancel that order. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you guys, but 2 got busted. I wasn't gonna take my chances. I want a good shitter because I'd already stepped out in faith. So I go up to the ranch, and this is like, nearest home improvement stores an hour, 2-hour round trip. And so I'm over there, and I, again, every time I'm doing some kind of a project, I buy 2 or 3 of the things I think I'm going to need that's part of the project, just because I don't want to have to do the 2-hour round trip to go get one little screw or one whatever. So I'm working on it, and like 3 hours in, I realize, man, I need a little fitting for the toilet. It's like, let's go run to town and get it. So I run to town, get it. 2 hours later, I'm back to the install mode, and I hit another fucking snag. I said, oh nah, the placement of where this taps into the wall is off. I gotta move. I gotta replumb the whole entire fucking behind the wall. That means I gotta cut a big old hole. This ain't just swapping out toilets. I said, and it's getting late on a Sunday. I'm like, man, all right, I'm gonna give up. I'll wait till next week. I'll just leave this project unfinished. And the other part of me said, nah, man, that's not what it's about. Go do the 2-hour round trip. Go get them parts. Stay up all night if that's what it takes for you to get this job done. You guys know what I did, right? I went home. I just gave up. Nah, you gave up. I'm done giving up. I went back, 2-hour round trip to buy about 3 parts, $12. And guess what? I finished the shitter. The shitter is exactly how I imagined it, and I couldn't be happier about a shitter, right? But it took faith for me to step out and to believe in the vision, because the vision didn't just lay down and say, let's make this easy on him, right? Because one, it took faith for me to just step out and do it. And y'all may think I'm crazy, and that's okay. That's a good thing. But I'm telling you, when it comes to your dreams, your visions, you're going to want to settle. you're going to want to compromise, right? And the universe is going to be just fine with you doing that. But you will not be okay. You will not feel right when you compromise. Because on the other side of that compromise is not your dream, right? It's you having to sit there for as long as it takes for you to realize that you should have never compromised. You should have believed, right? You should have doubled down. You should have gone all in. Because on the other side of persevering, of not getting knocked down, of saying, I'm going to take 4 fucking orders to get the toilet and 4 hours of round trips to get 3-4 parts on a Sunday, 9 hours to do the toilet install. But guess what? It works. It's better than I thought. And I guess what? I never have to do it again. And I'm excited. And I'm a greater person for it because there's a lesson in that. There's a lesson in the thing that is holding you back right now. That you are saying, I'm settling. I'm good. I'm a compromise. Right? You're talking yourself into staying somewhere where it's comfortable instead of getting into the uncomfortable. And you know the fucking drill, motherfuckers. When you compromise, you will feel regret. You will feel like shit because that doesn't bring about the number one thing in this life. And that's results, motherfuckers, because you know the drill. Results kill excuses. It's all on me. Greg's out.